I'm back. I guess this is kind of a part two. Let's call it a part two. Actually, I'm going to tell you exactly how these things working out for me. I was doing the edit on the captions, and I paused for a minute because my alarm went off, and that means go get the code, right, for cat country. So I have my brother and sister laughing today because I'm trying to catch the codes that I need, right? I get into all the contests. Have I won any of them yet? No, but I don't care. It's fun anyway. I use the numbers, okay? There's nothing that I do in my life that doesn't revolve around numbers. It's part of my communication. But anyway, it also is confirmation. So it just blows my mind sometimes how everything all comes together, right? And how they present things to me. And then, I come and bring them to you. I try to, well, I don't bring them all to you, but I bring some to you. Anyway, so I had other things that I wanted to say, but when I start channeling on something, I don't know where it's going to take me sometimes, Because again, when they have messages they want out, they make us start talking. Anyway, my one plan was I did want to talk a little bit about the MacArthur song that was playing in the background. So if you don't know that song, please go listen to it. Because it certainly does tie in a little bit, no, a lot with what I was saying. But MacArthur, Hardy, Eric Church, Morgan Wallen. All right, back to the song. I might have lost a little bit of the sentence. I don't know. But if you don't know that song, please listen to that. And I'm going to give you a quick synopsis for those of you that don't. It's about life, right? And it's about different generations of life. And basically, what are you going to leave? What are you going to leave to these future generations of yours, right? Because at the end of the day, we can't take it with us, right? What are you going to leave? Are you leaving material things? Are you leaving a legacy? Or are you just leaving, an impression, right? An impression that just lingers and lingers and lingers, that gets talked about forever, So anyway, good song. Listen to it. You don't want to listen to it, just look up the lyrics and read it, okay? Anyway, the other things that I wanted to talk about was the today's energy being a one energy, right? It's ambitious. I don't know what's going on, but my screen keeps getting timed out. Anyway, 22 is secondary energy, master builder, service, upliftment, okay? So that's what's going on in the energy of numbers. What's coming up for us on May 31st is another full moon. And it's the second one this month, right? Thus the name, the blue moon, right? Once in a blue moon. So, and I don't know if I talked about this before, but I'm like, let's recap what the once in a blue moon thing is, because it's really interesting. It's funny, kind of, because again, it was started kind of as a mistake and became like this thing that people say all the time, right? It actually dates back all the way to the 1500s, when they used to say the moon was blue. And they used to say that because, meaning that it's impossible. That's never going to happen and stuff like that. So they used to say the moon was blue. So it started out as these impossible things, right? And then in 1946, Sky and Telescope magazine misprinted something that was said and from the almanac, which was in the Farmer's Almanac. The blue moon was considered the third moon of the season. But when I guess they must have done an article in 1946 and it was printed wrong, and they said it was the second moon in the month. But it kind of spread like wildfire, they said. So it became a catchy phrase, and it kind of just stayed. It just kind of stayed. And in the 1800s, the rule, again, was the third full moon. I mean, that's how this all started. It started out like as a big mistake and a misprint in an article, and the Farmer's Almanac just trying to keep track of the names of the moons and keeping the season going. and also a little bit of the atmosphere and Mother Nature herself. The moon can sometimes look like it's blue, and they say that it's usually because of like volcano eruptions or wildfires can make it appear blue sometimes. So just a little bit of interesting history. Anyway, back to this with the and relationships and importance of family and life being fragile and different things. So I'm waiting for the code. The code comes. It's 411. I'm like, no shit. I know my numbers off rip, but I'm gonna get my book out and check in different things. And 411 is important relationships. And what was I talking about? Right? Life is short, right? Not everybody's lifespan is as long as some others. You just never know, right? So enjoy your life. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, and different things like that, right? Because you just never know. 411, important relationships. See the value in those you love, right? You're going to wait till they're gone, or are you going to show and appreciate in different things while they're here? You know what I mean? 411 calls you to select one relationship close to you and nurture it in an attentive and loving way. Tell a loved one how much you care for them, appreciate them, and see them in your life. Make time for them as you communicate how important they are. And I think a lot of people don't do that because, I'm not going to say a lot. There are many. Don't do that, right? People get focused and driven in different things in their own life and stuff. And, everybody's love language is different and everybody shows things differently, right? Some people are, buy you gifts and others like to cook for you. And love comes in many, many forms and appreciation of different things, right? And again, I'm going to remind everybody again, and it's about freedom and it's about, look at the lives that were lost that gave us this holiday where everybody gets together to have family barbecues or barbecues with their friends, and you're out partying and you get the extra day off, right? A lot of life was lost to create that day, Like I said, my family, we've been getting hit left and right, One goes and then a new life comes in. It's the circle of life. It is how it is. It's the way it goes, gang, right? Which is why being mad and being bitter and worrying about what everybody else is doing, and you know what I mean? I don't mean not to worry about people. I mean about being nosy and in people's business and the gossiper and the pot stirrer and putting yourself in people's relationships that you don't have no right being in. I'm talking about that kind of stuff, right? Enjoy your family and friends. Enjoy your time together. Put the phone down. There is nothing going on out there that you won't see in a couple of hours, right? I always say, if you got to have it, make sure you're documenting. Make sure you're documenting your time and taking photos and enjoying and having experiences. If you're not interacting and talking with each other and everybody's scrolling and doing this, you're missing out on a lot. You're missing out on a lot. And again, life is short and life is fragile. So I felt like I needed to get back on because I felt like all that kind of tied together, Again, get to where you're going safely, okay? Everyone wants to have a good time. I'm going to hunker down. I'm a homebody. I come out. I show myself a few times in different things. But it is what it is, right? I'll have my dancing shoes on soon. Anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend. But please think about that, okay? Everybody has ups and downs. Everybody goes through struggles. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to have a setback. It's okay. But make sure you say what you have to say while the people are here, okay? Don't live in regret, and don't wait till they're gone for something that you should have said to come to the surface. All right. You'll have a great weekend. Again, please be safe. Give Uber and Lyft some business. Let them make some money for a change, okay? All right. Bye-bye.